Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you which plants did well in our heat wave and which plants did not in our Pacific Northwest Zone 8B. So the first plant that we have that didn't fare well in the heat wave are the Sweet Williams. I figured they probably wouldn't do as well. They are a cooler weather plant anyway. And then the second plant that didn't do well is English daisies, and they are a spring plant, so also not surprised. And then I'm really not surprised about the pansies. They have been planted here since like the end of late fall last year, so I'm surprised they made it this far all the way till July without being toast. But this heat wave definitely killed them off. They're done, finished, so we can finally plant something else. So here I am taking you down to my seedlings that I planted just a week before this heat wave, where I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm showing my epic fails. This is my butterfly garden, my overgrown butterfly garden that I haven't had a chance to weed yet, that we're walking by. If you watched my short about the heat wave, you'll know that we had a water shortage. We thought we had a leak in the pipes. Might still have a leak, but it's possible the spring is just that low this year. So we're having to conserve and save it for some of our more bigger, more priority plants up in the front yard, rather down here where I just planted the seedlings that are just annuals. All right, so here we go. Let's see if anything's alive down here. I don't want to look. They're so small you can't even see them anyway. It looks like I have more weeds now than seedlings. Oh, my seedlings this year are just my seedlings this year are just not on the cards. Apparently it's been an issue to get them in the ground. It rained until the second week of June, and in 2 weeks it was just 90 degrees, 100 degrees within a 2-week span, and I just could not plant everything in that quick amount of time. So the rest of these seedlings are toast, and they were in the shade even for half the day here in the hottest part of the day in the afternoon. So yeah, seedlings are gone. Maybe the ones that are in the ground will make it, or at least half of them. The grass is doing all right. Well, those snapdragons look okay. There's an ageratum that looks okay. Note to self, ageratum does okay in the heat. The grass's optic illusion is not looking that great, but hey, the curly whirly's looking decent. Both of them. Yeah, they're mostly toast, and I still can't run the water hose down here yet. The table of water is barely up to the pump, and stuff like the roses and the hydrangeas that we planted last fall are more of a priority than my little seedlings. So hey, bunnies, if you're hungry, come get them before they die, because they're not gonna make it. Okay, so now for the things that did really, really well in the heat. And we're gonna start with the Russian sage. This is denim and lace, and they are doing excellent. They are actually, the heat brought out their blooms. They're starting to bloom now. And Dexter, get out of the picture. I can't do anything without this cat following me. Oh my goodness, ouch, Dexter. The next thing that did really well, besides these climbing roses, are the Bewitched Green with Envy Ipomoea and the Jazzberry Supertunias. Ipomoea did better than the Supertunias. Some of my super petunias are a little worse for the weather, but they are doing all right. But the Ipomoea loved this heat. So this entire bed over here did really well in the heat wave. The lemon coral sedum did excellent, obviously. Even the super petunias did all right out here. It looks in the shade right now, but it actually gets full afternoon sun. This is the west side over here, so it gets more like 9 hours of intense heat from like noon till dusk. And I think, if not the best plant through the heat wave, it's definitely in the top for the heat wave are these echinacea. They really popped and are looking great. I have some sea orangeum here that hasn't even started blooming yet, and some bluebeard caryopsis that hasn't started blooming yet either, but they're doing great in the heat as well. Some of the seedlings that did well are some hollyhocks. Of course, my dahlias loved this heat. The stalk, they did okay, not so much, but the lisianthus really loved this heat. The godetia, they handled it, but didn't love it so much. My alliums finally bloomed, finally popped up and opened up. Of course, the roses did great as long as they got water. Looking pretty decent. So the penstemon fared well here. However, if we were down in Southern California where they were 15 degrees hotter than we were up here, probably wouldn't have done as well. Or in the eastern South with the humidity, probably would not have done as well either. Coleus did well too, which was to be expected. So a couple of things that surprised me that didn't do as well as I thought they would in this heat are, and these super petunias are not faring as well as I thought they would in the heat. Also, the salvia, although it's doing well, it's not doing as well as I thought it would in the heat, but I mean, it still looks good. My butterfly bush, it didn't do as well in the heat as I thought it would. Now, a couple things that surprised me that did better in the heat than I expected are the Shasta daisies. Now, clearly they're dwindling a little bit, but I thought they'd all be dead after this heat wave, and they're still going, so they're doing better than I expected. So something else that surprised me that did well is this pink pearl agastache, or agastaki, however you want to say it. It just did so much better than I expected it to. And my delphinium seedlings, they're doing better than I expected. So my top picks, my top 3 picks for plants that did well in the heat wave are Nymphophia, my red hot pokers. The echinacea, definitely. Love them, love their color right now. And probably I'd have to say the pink cashmere superbena. They just loved this heat. It's kind of a toss-up between that and the Ipomoea and the Russian sage, but I think bloom-wise, the pink cashmere superbena wins. Looking amazing right now. Hey, I've got one larkspur hanging in there. That's amazing considering they're kind of a cruel weather plant. So thanks for watching my epic fails, our water issues, my favorite through the heat waves, and the things that didn't do so well in the heat waves. Until next time, feed the pollinators for me.